Welcome to Wednesday, July 10th, 2024. This Day Weather Podcast being brought to you by Wyoming State Parks. Why wonder about the outdoors in Wyoming? Explore the statewide interactive outdoor recreation wonder map to find your next adventure. The heat is just getting started. Today's temperatures are still going to be, I would call it modestly hot, really not that far from normal values in many areas, but the sizzle really gets going tomorrow. Tomorrow's the start of the extreme heat, and it still looks like it's going to be from Thursday through Monday for most of you. Now, it's still going to be plenty warm after Monday, but we're going to see the extreme heat lessen up quite a bit. Now, we are going to have weak thunderstorm activity in the region possible over the next several days. As the photo that Chester showed us yesterday, we're getting a little bit of cloud buildup, a little bit of virga, a few sprinkles. This is especially true in the mountains. There's just enough moisture in the atmosphere that these isolated showers and weak thunderstorms might develop, but they're just not going to be able to do much. But what they will be able to do is maybe throttle temperatures back a little bit in the afternoons if you're underneath the cloud buildup. So while we have this hot dome of high pressure coming in, these little weak showers and isolated thunderstorms are going to be around. Keep that in mind. The hottest temperatures are going to peak by Monday. The two hottest days, as we'll show you in the region, will be Sunday, Monday. Will records be shattered? Yeah, we're going to have records for sure, but we may not have as many records as one might think. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Subtropical moisture, deep subtropical moisture, is going to come in by Tuesday and Wednesday, so that's going to really help throttle temperatures back, especially front range and eastern areas of the divide by Tuesday and Wednesday. And there may be some decent rain-producing thunderstorm chances during that time frame in many areas. So we got to get ourselves through Monday, basically. Like yesterday, the satellite photo not showing much going on. There's the remains of Beryl, bringing very heavy rains and flooding to the Great Lakes region, especially Michigan, yesterday and last night. But across the west, we don't have much going on. The water vapor shows where the dome of the heat and the dryness is. We saw this yesterday. See this little stretch of better moisture aloft coming from the northwest to the southeast? This little area of moisture is just going to hang around, and this is what's going to help cause the weak isolated shower and thunderstorm activity, especially over the mountains. High pressure ridge centered over Las Vegas by noon today. There's the remains of Beryl. And if you look at what's going on, after Beryl completely goes away, which will be today, we are looking at not a lot going on in the tropics. Not only in the Atlantic, the Gulf, or the Caribbean, but the Eastern Pacific has no tropical activity. Central Pacific doesn't either. So there's a bit of a pause in the tropical action. It doesn't mean it stopped. We've got a lot of season left, but there is going to be a little bit of a settling down in the tropics. The water in the atmosphere, to highlight where we're going to be today, the white areas mean the precipitable water is at the 30-year average. The brown shows where the air is a little bit drier. But you see we've got some white areas, and that with the heat is going to be enough to keep that threat of those weak isolated showers and thunderstorms around. And there's the lightning prediction for later today, so kind of like what we had yesterday. By the weekend, by Sunday, that's where the center of the high pressure is going to be, slowly migrating east, and this is when the temperatures are going to peak. So we'll step you through the forecasted high temperatures today, going through Monday, just kind of like what we did yesterday. So it's going to be Boise. It's going to be the Central Valleys of California, Arizona, the heat getting now into Utah, getting all the way into eastern Idaho, the triple digits. The heat starting to get a little bit more prominent east of the divide. Grand Junction and areas along the western slope, you're going to see the heat really coming our way. If you want to cool off, head to the hills, head to those higher elevations. This is tomorrow. The heat expands and gets a little bit deeper east of the divide. We start to see 100s in Montana. Then as we get into Friday, the expansion continues Saturday, Sunday, and very, very impressive temperatures Sunday, especially along the Front Range and east of the divide. The west of the divide, the heat continues as well, so the expansion really grows. But we do have a little bit of cloud cover in the forecast, and I want to talk about the prediction of all the records that may be tied or broken. There certainly will be, but we may not have as many, especially all-time records, because it does look like we're going to have enough mid and high level cloudiness to maybe take the edge off of the heat Sunday and Monday, and some of those weak isolated showers and thunderstorms as well. Now, clouds at night will help keep those overnight low temperatures from falling too far. So that's one positive that the clouds can do to help with the heat. But if they're going to be around in the afternoons, that will block a little bit of solar radiation and maybe take a degree or two off. And when you're talking about all-time record highs or time record highs, a degree or two can be a real big difference. So this is where we're going to be on Monday. This is where the heat really peaks out on the plains. So Front Range, plains areas really peak out with the hottest temperatures as we get into the day Monday. Still hot west of the divide, but you can see that the heat here isn't as intense, starting to weaken a little bit. That's because the subtropical moisture gets a little bit deeper. So this is Monday. So that higher level moisture will be producing clouds and some of those weak showers and thunderstorms as well. By Tuesday, the heat now is more down into the south central United States. It's still warm, but the heat here is not nearly as bad. So on Tuesday, you're going to really notice a difference. If we go through the region, this is a meteogram of what we're going to see with temperatures, with these bars here showing the highs and the lows. We'll start with Billings. So you can see that from today through Sunday, that's when Billings is going to put together a streak of possible triple-digit temperatures. Graybull going to be basically like Billings. The hottest temperatures right there will be today going on into Monday. So there could be 4, maybe 5 days in a row of 100 degrees or plus. Cheyenne getting close to records right here Sunday and into Monday, but notice the drop-off. Only upper 70s by Tuesday and Wednesday, kind of really dropping off. This is where the subtropical moisture comes in. This is Denver. So Denver could put 4 days in a row maybe of 100 or plus, then that drop off. And then as we go into Garden City, Kansas, you can see the cluster is moved over to the right by 1 day. Sunday through Tuesdays when the heat's going to be the worst, then dropping off as well. So you can see the time ranges and where the longest stretch of the hottest temperatures are going to be. This is the prediction of lightning for Thursday. This is for Friday, this is for Saturday, and this is for Sunday. Now, these are not going to be very good rain-producing thunderstorms, but as we mentioned at the beginning, there's going to be this weak thunderstorm activity in this regime, and that may be enough to shave a degree or two off of the heat. But don't get excited about the rain prospects. Now, this is Monday. Notice Arizona here into the western slope of Colorado and Utah, starting to get into more productive rain-producing thunderstorms by Monday in those areas. But the overall general accumulation of precipitation is going to be spotty. But notice the higher terrain, the mountain areas. So if you really want to have a cool down, head to the mountains, because not only will it be cooler because of elevation, you'll have more clouds and more chances to cool off with an afternoon shower. As we go forward, by Tuesday, the high-pressure ridge and the axis is to the east. It's weakening, and the door to the subtropical moisture is now open. And there you go. We're looking at the deeper subtropical moisture in place by Tuesday. And there you go. These are going to be the rain-producing thunderstorms, more widespread from Canada all the way down to Arizona and Mexico and further out on into the plains and Front Range areas. So that's when you're going to really notice things cooling off. Have yourself a good Wednesday. Get ready for the heat. We'll see you tomorrow.